Welcome, listeners, to an epic journey into the heart of ancient Rome, where the sands of the Colosseum run red with blood, and one man's defiance shapes a legend that echoes through time. This is a gladiator's eternal saga, your life in the arena, a sprawling, immersive tale told through the eyes of Lucius, a Thracian shepherd turned gladiator whose quest for freedom, honor, and vengeance will grip your soul. From the ashes of a razed village to the roar of 70,000 spectators, from the brutal ludus to the ultimate prize of the rudis, this documentary-style story is a visceral odyssey of survival, transformation, and legacy. Crafted with historical precision, drawing from voices like Martial and Tacitus and echoes of Pompey's graffiti, this saga places you, Lucius, at its center. Your every scar, triumph, and heartbreak a testament to the gladiator's paradox. You're tuning in to this tale on Somnus Sagas, where we bring history's greatest stories to life with depth and drama. If you're captivated by Lucius's journey and want more epic narratives, don't forget to subscribe to Somnus Sagas for weekly dives into the past. Now, step onto the sand, grip your sicker, and let the Colosseum's roar carry you into the life of Lucius, the Thracian lion. It's the sweltering summer of 83 CE, and you, Lucius, a 22-year-old Thracian, awaken to the jarring clank of iron chains and the acrid stench of unwashed bodies crammed into a rickety slave cart, its wooden wheels groaning under the weight of despair. Your world has shattered. 6 months ago, your village in the Rhodope mountains of Thrace was a haven of thatched huts, bleating sheep, and the lilting songs of your younger sister, Livia, as she wove wool by a crackling fire under starlit skies. Your mother, Eliana, taught you the old Thracian tales of gods like Bendis and heroes like Orpheus, her voice soft as the mountain wind, her hands calloused from spinning. Your father, Arion, a chieftain with a spear as renowned as his courage, trained you to wield a sling with deadly precision, your stones felling wolves that threatened your flock. Your life was simple yet proud, hauling water across rocky slopes, wrestling rams to shear their wool, dreaming of becoming a warrior like Arion, whose name was sung at village feasts, his spear a symbol of defiance. But Rome's legions, under Emperor Domitian's iron grip, crushed a rebellion led by your kinsman against crippling taxes and forced conscription. You fought beside your father, your sling cracking the skulls of 2 legionaries, their helmets dented before a spear grazed your ribs, tearing flesh, and a centurion's pommel cracked against your temple. Stars bursting in your vision, you woke to flames licking your village, your father's blood soaking the earth, his eyes lifeless as his spear fell from his hand. Your mother and Livia were dragged away, their screams fading into the chaos, sold into slavery, perhaps, or lying in unmarked graves, a question that gnaws your heart. The slave caravan trudges 600 miles south from Thrace to Capua, Rome's gladiator hub, a journey of dust, despair, and festering wounds. Your wrists chafe under iron manacles, the spear wound on your ribs oozing under a filthy bandage. Each step a jolt of pain that reminds you of your loss. The Capua slave market is a grim bazaar, a cacophony of merchants' shouts, captive sobs, and the clink of sesterces. You stand naked on a splintered wooden platform, your 6-foot frame, broad shoulders, and muscled arms, honed by years of shepherding, drawing greedy eyes. Your dark hair is matted with grime, your blue eyes burn with defiance, though grief claws at your chest like a trapped beast. A wiry man with a shaved head and eyes like chipped flint. Gnaeus Lentulus, a lanista, gladiator trainer, examines you, squeezing your biceps, checking your teeth like a horse's. "This one's got fire," he mutters, paying 800 sesterces, a sum equal to a legionary's yearly wage, per market records. Arena fodder or a star, we'll see. His ludus, a fortified compound on the dusty outskirts of Pompeii, becomes your prison, its stone walls looming near the city's amphitheatre, where 20,000 spectators' roars echo like a distant storm, a harbinger of your fate. The ludus is a fortress of sweat, suffering, and survival, a world apart from Thrace's open hills. High walls 20 feet tall and topped with iron spikes enclose a sandy training yard where 60 men, Thracians, Gauls, Numidians, a wiry Syrian named Zaid with haunted eyes, a rare Briton with blue woad tattoos, drill under a merciless Campanian sun. The air is thick with dust, leather, and the tang of iron from nearby forges crafting swords, helmets, and greaves. Your cell is a 6 by 6 foot hole with a straw pallet crawling with lice, its damp stone walls reeking of mildew and despair. The air heavy with the groans of wounded men. Iron bars block the starlit sky, a cruel reminder of the freedom you've lost. Lentulus sizes you up on your first day, his breath sour with cheap Falernian wine, his fingers calloused from years of handling chains. "You're a Thraex," he declares, thrusting a wooden psyker, an 18-inch curved sword mimicking Thracian warriors, into your calloused hands. Your armor is a bronze helmet with a griffin crest, weighing 15 pounds, its narrow eye slits turning the world into a tunnel of survival. Greaves shield your shins. A linen sublegaculum, loincloth, covers your loins, and a manica, arm guard, protects your sword arm, but your chest is exposed, a canvas for future scars. The palmula, a small square shield, 2 feet wide, feels flimsy compared to the long spears you once wielded, its oak frame light but sturdy under your grip. Training is a relentless crucible, forging you into a weapon while stripping away your past. Dawn breaks with doctores, scarred ex-gladiators, barking orders, move dogs or taste the whip. You spar with wooden weapons, twice the weight of real ones, until your arms burn, your shoulders ache, and sweat stings your eyes. The Seeker's curve is tricky, designed to hook shields and slash vitals, throat, groin, hamstrings. Marcus, a doctor with a face like a battered shield, his nose broken in a dozen arena fights, drills you in the Threix's dance. Agile footwork, quick feints, and precise strikes to exploit gaps. His whip cracks when you stumble, leaving red welts on your back, his voice a growl. Strike the heart, not the shield. You learn to parry a Mamilio's heavy gladius, dodge a Retiarius's weighted net, counter a Hoplomachus's long spear, and evade a Scissor's bladed gauntlet. Your first sparring match leaves you bruised, your rib aching from a Scissor's iron edge, the pain a sharp reminder of your mortality. Marcus warns, the arena's worse, learn fast or die. Your diet is gladiator porridge, barley, oats, beans, sometimes laced with ash water for calcium, as later confirmed by Ephesus bone studies showing high strontium levels. It bulks you up, adding fat to cushion blows, though it sits like lead in your gut. Its taste a daily reminder of your bondage. Slaves serve it in chipped clay bowls, their eyes downcast, and you choke it down, dreaming of Thracian bread, honey, and the roasted lamb your mother made for festivals. Nights are restless, haunted by memories of Livia's songs, her voice like a mountain stream, your mother's gentle hands braiding your hair, your father's proud nod as you hit a wolf with your sling. You clutch a stolen amulet of Nemesis, goddess of vengeance, its bronze cool against your palm, whispering prayers for strength to endure or die well. You carve a tally into your cell's damp wall. One mark for each day survived, a vow to outlast this hell. The Ludus is a microcosm of loyalty, rivalry, and betrayal. Drusus, a towering Gaul training as a Mamillo, becomes your ally, sharing smuggled olives and tales of his lost wife, Aelia, his blue eyes glinting with grim humor despite his scars. We're brothers now, Thracian, he says, clapping your shoulder after you block his gladius in sparring, his shield a wall of oak. Zaid, the Syrian, is quieter, his hands deft as he sharpens blades in the armory, his eyes holding secrets of a desert home. He shares a nod when you help him lift a water barrel, a silent pact of respect. But Cassius, a lean Retiarius with a cruel smirk and 3 arena wins, taunts your accent, spitting. Sheep boy won't last a week. He's Lentulus's favorite, his net and trident already bloodied, his arrogance a blade sharper than his weapon. The Ludus's hierarchy is brutal. Top fighters like Cassius get wine, private cells with wool blankets, even concubines sent by wealthy patrons, while novices like you scrub floors or clean latrines, the stench of urine and despair clinging to your hands. You overhear whispers of Spartacus, the Thracian gladiator, whose revolt shook Rome in 73 to 71 BCE. his 70-man rebellion swelling to 120,000 before Crassus crushed it, crucifying 6,000 along the Appian Way per Appian's civil wars. Escape tempts you, slitting a guard's throat, scaling the walls under moonlight. But the ludus is a fortress, its gates barred, its guards armed with spears and clubs. Escapees' corpses rot on stakes outside, their eyes pecked by crows, a warning etched in flesh. The arena is your only path, a stage where survival hinges on skill, luck, and the crowd's fickle whim. Freedom is your obsession, a fire fiercer than the Thracian sun that once warmed your village. In the Rhodopes, you were free, your life bound only by the rhythm of seasons, the bleat of your flock, the laughter of Livia as she chased lambs across meadows, her dark braid swinging. Now you're a slave, your forearm branded with a searing iron, the mark of infamia, dishonor, that bars you from citizenship, marriage, or respect, even if you survive. Lentulus dangles the rudis, a polished wooden sword symbolizing freedom, as the ultimate prize. Win enough fights, Lucius, he says, his voice slick as oil, his eyes calculating your worth like a merchant weighing gold. Please the crowd, and you'll walk free, maybe even rich. The rudis is rare, granted to fewer than 2% of gladiators, per tombstone inscriptions from Rome, Ephesus, and Verona. Flamma, a Syrian gladiator, earned it 4 times and refused it, craving the arena's thrill, his tombstone boasting 34 fights, 21 wins, 9 draws, and 4 missio, mercies. You want more than escape. You want to reclaim your honor, to return to Thrace, find Livia and your mother if they live, and rebuild your village on the ashes of Rome's conquest, a place where Arrian's name is sung again, his spear a beacon of defiance. Freedom is not just physical release, it's a restoration of your soul, a defiance of the ludus's chains, the lanista's whip, the crowd's bloodlust. You want to stand in the Colosseum, not as a slave but as a warrior, your father's spirit in your veins, his spear's legacy in your sicker. You dream of the crowd chanting your name, not in mockery, but in awe. Their cheers a shield against infamia. Each night you carve a tally into your cell's damp wall, one mark for each day endured, a vow to outlast Rome's cruelty. You want to prove you're not Thracian filth, as Cassius sneers, but a man worthy of Arrian's name, a warrior who can walk free with head high, his honor intact, his family restored. Vengeance fuels you too, a dark undercurrent to your dream. You hate Rome for burning your village, its legions trampling your fields, its centurions spilling your father's blood. You hate Lentulus for chaining you, his whip a reminder of your bondage, his greed a chain tighter than iron. You hate Cassius for his taunts that cut deeper than any blade, his smirk a challenge you vow to erase. You imagine facing him in the arena, his net useless against your sicker, his pride broken by your victory. You pray to Nemesis, clutching your stolen amulet, its edges worn smooth by your thumb, vowing justice for your father's blood, your mother's loss, Livia's unknown fate. You whisper her name in the dark, promising to find her, to bring her home, to see her weave by a Thracian fire again, her songs filling the air, freedom, honor, vengeance. These desires drive every swing of your sickle, every step in the training yard, every breath in the Ludus's stifling air. The Rudis is your beacon, a distant star reachable only through blood, skill, and the fickle love of Rome's masses. The Ludus is more than a prison. It's a forge, shaping you into a gladiator while testing your spirit. Training is a daily ordeal, a relentless cycle of pain and perseverance. You rise before dawn, the air cool and heavy with dew, to run laps around the yard, your sandals kicking up dust, your lungs burning. Doctores like Marcus drill you for hours, their voices hoarse from shouting. Faster, Thracian. The arena waits for no one. You spar with wooden weapons, their weight doubling the strain, until your arms tremble and sweat drips into your eyes, stinging like salt. The Sika's curve demands precision. Hook the shield, slash the flank, aim for the heart. You learn to read opponents. A Myrmilo's heavy stance telegraphs his charge. A Retiarius's net twirl betrays his throw. A Hoplomachus's spear overextends, leaving his legs vulnerable. Marcus teaches you to feint, to sidestep, to use the parmula as both shield and weapon, smashing it into an opponent's face. Your first sparring match leaves you bruised, a scissors wooden gauntlet cracking your rib, the pain a constant companion for weeks. You learn to fight through it, to ignore the whip sting, to silence the fear that whispers, "You'll die." Bonds form in the Ludus, fragile threads in a world of iron. Drusus, the Gaulish Myrmilo, becomes your brother in all but blood. His laughter, deep and warm, cuts through the gloom. His stories of Aelia, his lost wife, mirroring your grief for Livia. He shares smuggled olives, a rare treat, and teaches you to parry his gladius with your parmula, his shield a wall you learn to outmaneuver. "You're quick, Thracian," he says, grinning, "but I'm a mountain." Zaid, the Syrian, is quieter, his hands deft as he sharpens blades in the armory, his eyes holding secrets of a desert home. He shares a nod when you help him lift a water barrel, a silent pact of respect. You three form a trio, sharing whispered plans for survival, though trust is fragile. Betrayal is a blade that cuts both ways. Cassius, the Retiarius, is your shadow. His taunts a daily torment. He steals your porridge, loosens your greave straps, and mocks your Thracian prayers. Nemesis won't save a sheep boy. His 3 wins make him Lentulus's favorite, his cell stocked with wine and a concubine's perfume. You clash in sparring, his wooden trident gashing your shoulder, his smirk infuriating. Yet you notice his skill, his net's fluid arc, his trident's precision, and vow to surpass him. Other gladiators, like Gaius, a hoplomachus with a limp, or Varro, a secutor with a burned face, keep their distance, their eyes wary. The ludus is a hierarchy of survival. Top fighters eat meat, novices scrape bowls. You scrub latrines, the stench choking, while Cassius lounges. Lentulus watches, his whip coiled, his bets on your fights a reminder you're a commodity. You learn the ludus's unwritten rules. Never show weakness, guard your rations, sleep with one eye open. A Numidian named Kwaku tries to steal your amulet, his knife at your throat, but you break his wrist, earning Marcus's nod. Rumors of Spartacus linger. His revolt began in a Capua ludus like this, per Appian. You dream of rebellion, but the walls are thick, the guards brutal, their clubs stained with blood. Training hardens you, your muscles cord, your reflexes sharpen, your sicker becomes an extension of your will. You carve tallies into your cell, each mark a defiance, a promise to Livia, to Arian, to yourself. The arena is your greatest foe, a crucible where death stalks every step. Its sand, a grave for the unwary. Your first fight, in Pompey's amphitheatre in the spring of 84 CE, is a brutal awakening. You face Sextus, a Mamillo with 10 victories, his heavy scutum shield a wall of oak and iron, his gladius a 20-inch blade of menace, its edge honed to slice through flesh and bone. The amphitheatre, carved into Pompey's volcanic soil, holds 20,000 spectators. Their roar's a living beast that shakes a stone tears. The sand is gritty, stained with blood from mourning Venetians, where leopards tore into chained damnati, their screams lingering like a curse. Your helmet's weight presses your neck, its griffin crest gleaming, but its slits narrowing your vision to Sextus's scarred face. His eyes cold as iron, his lips curled in a sneer. Trumpets blare, and the hydraulic organ's eerie wail sends shivers down your spine, a sound like the gods' mourning. Sextus charges, his gladius grazing your thigh, blood welling hot and slick, soaking your sandal and staining the sand crimson. The crowd screams, "Ugula, kill him." Their voices a hammer on your nerves, their fists pounding the air. Your seeker feels clumsy, its curve unfamiliar, but you dodge, your shepherd's agility saving you from a killing blow. You slash his arm, blood spraying in an arc, and he drops his gladius, kneeling, his shield useless. You raise your blade, heart pounding, ready to kill. The crowds chant, urging you on. But the editor, a local magistrate in a crisp toga, consults the crowd and waves a cloth for Missio, sparing Sextus. You stumble off trembling, the crowd's cheers mingling with jeers. Thracian dog, weakling. You've survived, but the arena's reality sinks in. One mistake, and you're dead, your body dragged through the Porta Libitinaria by slaves dressed as Charon. their mallets poised to crush your skull. The ludus is a battlefield of its own, a cauldron of rivalry and betrayal. Cassius sabotages you relentlessly, loosening your Parmula's leather straps, stealing your porridge, whispering to Lentulus that you're weak, unfit for the arena. During a sparring match, he accidentally gashes your shoulder with a wooden trident, smirking as blood trickles down your arm, the doctores turning a blind eye. Lentulus, ever calculating, pits you against tougher opponents to test your mettle, his eyes gleaming with profit or loss. A scissors, bladed gauntlet cracks your rib in practice, the pain flaring with each breath, forcing you to sleep sitting up, your straw pallet damp with sweat. Medics, trained in Galen's methods, stitch your wounds with boiled thread and apply henbane poultices, their hands steady but their eyes weary. Infections lurk. Ephesus skeletons show gladiators often died of sepsis, their bones pitted with fever's marks, a fate you dread as your wounds ooze. Your cell is damp, its straw crawling with lice. The groans of maimed men, a nightly chorus that drowns out your prayers to Nemesis. Drusus shares his flask of watered wine, his laughter a lifeline, but his optimism wanes when he sprains his ankle, limping through drills, his Mamillo shield dragging. The crowd is a mercurial adversary, their love a double-edged sword sharper than any gladius. In your second fight, against a retiarius named Paulus in Capua's amphitheatre, you trip on a blood-slicked patch, nearly losing your Parmula. The crowd jeers, clumsy barbarian, their voices like knives in your heart. You recover, entangling his net with your seeker and forcing his surrender, your blade at his throat, but their scorn burns deeper than your wounds. Your third fight, against a Hoplomachus with a long spear, ends with you sparing him, your sicker lowered as he kneels. But the crowd chants for death, their fists pounding, their cries, Ugula, a demand for blood. Lentulus docks your rations for weakness, snarling. The mob wants slaughter, not mercy. You learn to play their game, studying martial spectacles in stolen moments, a scroll smuggled by a literate slave, noting how gladiators pause before strikes, raise weapons to spark cheers, or taunt fallen foes to whip the crowd into frenzy. But their love is fickle. One loss could turn them against you, demanding your throat, as Juvenal mocked in his satires. External pressures tighten the noose around your neck. Domitian's reign is fraught, per Dio Cassius. Grain shortages, Dacian wars, and senatorial purges fuel unrest across the empire. He demands grander games to placate Rome's restless masses, meaning riskier bouts for you. Lentulus enters you in larger arenas, like Verona's, where you face a Secutor whose smooth, egg-shaped helmet deflects your seeker, its slits hiding his eyes. His trident pierces your greave, the iron scraping bone, and you limp for weeks, the wound oozing until a medic lances it with a hot blade, the pain making you bite through a leather strap. Each fight risks death or maiming. Drusus loses an eye to a Democharis' dual swords in 85 CE, his scream echoing as blood pours down his face, his Murmillo helmet clattering to the sand. He becomes a doctor, his humor dimmed, leaving you isolated. "You're alone now, Thracian," he says, his voice heavy with loss. "Fight for us both." Internal conflicts gnaw at your soul, a war as fierce as any in the arena. Nightmares of your villages fall, flames licking huts, Livia's screams, your father's blood pooling under a Roman spear, merge with visions of dying in the sand. Aretiarius's trident in your chest, the crowd jeering as your life fades. Cassius's taunts erode your confidence. You'll never see Thrace, sheep boy. Doubt creeps in. Is the Rudis a lie, a carrot to keep you fighting? You overhear Lentulus betting against you in a Capua tavern, hedging his investment with a rival Lannister, his laughter a betrayal that stings like a whip. Social stigma is another chain. As a gladiator, you're infamis, despised despite your growing fame. Claudia, a Pompeian matron, sends you a bronze ring after your 4th win, her letter calling you my noble savage, a reminder you're a spectacle, not a man. The crowd's cheers are a drug, addictive yet hollow, their love conditional on your blood. You're still Lentulus's property, your life a wager for his profit. The Ludus's hierarchy is ruthless, a daily reminder of your place. Cassius, with 10 wins, gets a private cell with a wool blanket, a clay lamp, even a concubine's perfume. Per juvenile scandalous tales, you sleep on lice-ridden straw, your porridge laced with grit. You hear of Spartacus's revolt, crushed in 71 BCE, its 6,000 survivors crucified along the Appian Way, their bodies rotting for miles per Appian. Rebellion tempts you, slitting Lentulus's throat in the night, rallying Drusus, Zaid, and others to storm the gates. But the Ludus's guards are vigilant, their clubs blood-stained, their spears sharp. Escapees' corpses rot on stakes outside, their eyes pecked by crows, a warning you see daily. In Verona, you face a bestiarius who sicks a wounded bear on you, its claws raking your arm, leaving jagged scars that burn for months. You kill it with a desperate sicker thrust, its blood hot on your hands, the crowd roaring, but you collapse, blood pooling, wondering if freedom is worth this hell. Each fight, each day, is a battle against Rome, the arena, the ludus, and your own breaking heart. The arena is more than a battlefield. It's a theatre of Rome's power, a stage where emperors and elites wield blood to win loyalty. The Colosseum, completed in 80 CE under Titus, is a marvel of engineering. Its 70,000 seats a testament to Rome's might, per Suetonius. Its hypogeum, A labyrinth of tunnels, cages, and pulleys hums with activity. Slaves operating trapdoors to raise lions, scenery, or mock ships for Naumachii, naval battles, per Dio Cassius. Games are meticulously planned, libelli programs, listing matchups, gladiator records, and bets, fueling the crowd's frenzy. Your fights are choreographed for drama. Thraex versus Retiarius, agility against reach, a clash to thrill, not always kill, as Lannisters prefer live fighters to dead ones, per economic records. Politics shape every bout. Domitian, paranoid and extravagant, uses games to distract from grain shortages and Dacian wars, per Tacitus. His festivals, like the one in 87 CE, cost millions of sesterces, funded by taxes that crush provinces like Thrace. Senators and magistrates sponsor games to curry favor, their names announced as crowds cheer or jeer. Your victories are propaganda. Rome's conquest of Abyss and Bolson, barbarian Thracian, per mosaics depicting defeated foreigners. Yet, your growing fame threatens Lentulus's control. He fears you'll outshine him, per whispers in the Ludus. Emperors like Commodus, who later fights as a gladiator, rigged bouts, per Herodian, set a precedent for using the arena as a stage, making your fights political pawns. The crowd's role is pivotal. Their chants, Ugula or Mitte, spare him, sway the editor's decision, per Juvenal. You learn to manipulate them, pausing before a strike, raising your sicker to spark cheers, as Martial notes in spectacles. But their love is a trap, one loss, and they'll demand your blood. Logistics are staggering, slaves rake blood-soaked sand, vendors sell figs and wine, awnings shield senators, while plebs sweat in the upper tiers. Your fights in smaller arenas like Pompeii's or Capua's are rehearsals for the Colosseum, where stakes are higher, crowds larger, and death closer. The turning point comes in the spring of 87 CE, during a grand festival in Rome's Colosseum, celebrating Domitian's Dacian victories, a spectacle meant to rival Trajan's later games, per Dio Cassius. You're 24, hardened by 8 victories, your name scrawled on Pompeii's walls. Lucius, Thracian blade, unconquered. Your scars tell your story. A trident mark on your shoulder from a Capua Retiarius, a gladius gash on your thigh from Sextus, a bear's claw marks on your arm from Verona, each a badge of survival. Lentulus, sensing profit, enters you in a high-profile bout against Cassius, now a Retiarius with 14 wins, his net and trident a nightmare for any Thraex. The matchup is a clash of opposites, your agility and curve seeker versus his reach and deadly net, a duel designed to thrill the crowd. The night before, you kneel in the Ludus's nemesis shrine, a cramped alcove lit by a flickering lamp, its walls carved with prayers from dead gladiators. You offer a lock of your dark hair, the amulet warm in your hand, its bronze worn smooth by years of devotion. You pray for strength, your voice hoarse, goddess, let me live, let me win, let me see Thrace. Drusus, now a doctor, with a leather eye patch, slips you a salve for your bruised wrist, his one eye glinting with pride. Make him eat sand, brother, he whispers, his hand steadying yours as he wraps your wrist in linen. Zaid, the Syrian, offers a rare word. Strike true, Thracian. You overhear Lentulus in a Pompeian tavern, betting 10,000 sesterces on you, a rare vote of confidence that steels your nerves, though you know he'd sell your corpse for profit. The Colosseum is a colossus of stone and sound. 60,000 spectators packed from the senatorial podium to the plebeian rafters, their roars shaking the earth like a thunderstorm. The morning's venatio leaves the sand strewn with bear, leopard, and boar carcasses, their blood soaking the arena, the air thick with dust, sweat, and saffron sprayed by slaves to mask the stench. The hypogeum hums, slaves operating trapdoors to raise wooden hills or mock ships per Dio Cassius. Your Thrax gear feels heavy yet familiar. The griffin-crested helmet a crown, its 15 pounds pressing your neck, the seeker an extension of your arm, its curve honed, the palmula a shield against fate, its oak scarred from sparring. You stride through the Porta Sana Vivaria, trumpets blaring, the hydraulic organs wail sending shivers down your spine, a sound like the gods judging you. The crowd chants, Thracian, Thracian, their voices a tide that lifts your heart. Cassius enters, his net swirling like a spider's web, his trident glinting in the midday sun, his lean frame coiled like a snake. He sneers, "Time to die, sheep boy," his voice dripping with years of taunts, stolen rations, loosened straps, the gash he gave you. The fight is a maelstrom, a dance of death under Rome's unforgiving sun. Cassius's net grazes your arm, its lead weights bruising your skin, the pain sharp but fleeting, like a wasp's sting. His trident jabs your greave, drawing blood that soaks your sandal and stains the sand crimson. The crowd screams, "Net him!" Their voices a thunderclap that drowns out your ragged breath. You dodge, your shepherd's agility saving you, and slash his thigh with your sicker, tearing muscle, blood spraying in an arc that glistens in the sun. He stumbles, cursing, his net sagging. You hook it with your palmula, yanking it free. The crowd's chant shifting, "Lucius, Lucius." You pin him, your blade at his throat, his eyes wide with fear, the same eyes that mocked you in the ludus. He raises a finger for Missio, and you pause, remembering his sabotage, the stolen porridge, the gash he gave you, the years of sheep boy taunts. The editor, a senator in Domitian's retinue, consults the crowd's roar, half cry Eugula, half mercy, and waves a cloth, granting Missio. You step back, sparing Cassius, your breath ragged, your heart pounding like a war drum. The arena erupts, coins, figs, palm branches, and flowers raining down as fans scream your name, a sound sweeter than Thracian wine, louder than your village's festival drums. This victory transforms you, a pivot from slave to legend. Lentulus names you Primus Palus, the Ludus's top gladiator, a title earned by blood and will, a rank held by men like Flamma or Priscus. You're granted a private cell with a wool blanket, a clay lamp, a wooden stool, a palace compared to your old hole. Your rations improve: roasted pork, dates, olives, even watered wine. A luxury after years of gritty porridge. Graffiti spreads in Pompeii. Lucius, slayer of nets, 9 victories. Scrawled on tavern walls, amphitheatre stones, even a baker's shop, per archaeological finds. Claudia, the matron, sends a silver armlet etched with a griffin, her letter hinting at a private meeting in her villa. A scandalous offer you ignore, wary of Rome's traps, juvenile satires echoing in your mind. Women lust for gladiator scars. Cassius, humbled, shares a flask one night, muttering, "You're no sheep boy, Lucius." His respect a small victory after years of rivalry. Drusus, his one eye bright with pride, reveals Lentulus promised him a rudis after 20 wins, confirming freedom is real, not a myth spun to keep you fighting. Zaid carves a small griffin into a wooden talisman, a gift you tuck beside your amulet. The crowd's love, you realize, is your weapon. If you can keep it, the rudis is within reach. A star no longer so distant. Your mindset shifts, a seismic change in your soul. The arena is no longer just a death trap. It's a stage to forge your legend, to honor Arion, to defy Rome. You train with fanatic intensity, rising before dawn to spar, perfecting the seeker's curve to hook shields and slice tendons, your movements fluid as a Thracian stream. You study opponents' tells, a Mamilo's heavy stance, a Retiarius's net twirl, a Secuta's blind spots, a Hoplomachus's overextended spear thrust. Drusus, now your coach, teaches you to exploit weaknesses, aim for a scissor's exposed flank, dodge a Demachairus's wild swings. You learn to play the crowd, pausing dramatically before a strike, raising your seeker to spark frenzy, as Martial describes in Spectacles. The gladiator who knows the mob wins their hearts. You carve a new vow into your cell's wall. Freedom or death, I am Lucius. The words etch deep, a promise to Nemesis, to Livia, to yourself. Over the next 18 months, you fight in Capua, Verona, and Rome, amassing 15 victories, each a step toward the rudis. Each bout scars you. A Retiarius's trident punctures your shoulder, the iron cold as it bites flesh, leaving a star-shaped scar. A scissor's blade gashes your arm, the wound jagged and slow to heal. A Bestiarius's lion claws your thigh in Verona, its roar deafening as you kill it, with a desperate sicker thrust, its blood hot on your hands. Medics stitch you up, their opium-laced herbs dulling the pain, but infections linger and you pray to Nemesis to keep fever at bay, offering her a coin from your winnings. Fans call you Thracian Lion, a name that spreads like wildfire. A poet in Pompeii compares you to Achilles, his verses scrawled on tavern walls. Lucius, who dances with death and lives. Claudia invites you to her villa, a dangerous honor for an infirmise. Her eyes hungry as she watches you train, but you decline. Your heart fixed on Thrace, on Livia, on the Rudes. The arena is your crucible, but freedom is your fire, burning brighter with each victory, though each fight raises the stakes. One slip could end it all, your body dragged through the Porta Libitinaria, your name forgotten like so many before you. By 89 CE, you're 26, a legend with 19 victories, your body a map of scars, a trident mark on your chest from a Capua Retiarius, a gladius gash on your thigh from Sextus, a bear's claw marks on your arm from Verona, a lion's rake on your leg from a venatio in Rome's Flavian amphitheatre. The Colosseum's grandest festival looms, a 123-day spectacle for Domitian's birthday, rivaling Trajan's later games, which saw 10,000 gladiators fight per Dio Cassius. Lentulus, his coffers swollen from your wins, enters you in a rare certimen ad mortem, a fight to the death, against Tiberius, a Murmillo from Gaul with 16 wins, his 6'3" frame, and Gladius, a fortress of menace, his scutum shield a wall of oak and bronze, his helmet's plumes swaying like a taunt. The prize is staggering. The Rudes, freedom, and 7,000 sesterces, enough to buy a farm in Thrace, hire trackers to find Livia, and rebuild your village into a bastion of Thracian pride. The night before, you sit in your private cell, the Nemesis amulet warm in your hand, its bronze gleaming in the lamplight of your clay lamp. The cell, though small, is a luxury, a wool blanket, a wooden stool, a shelf for your armlet from Claudia and Zaid's griffin talisman. You trace the tallies on the wall, 2,190 mark for 2,090 days of survival, each one a defiance of Rome's chains. Drusus, his one eye glinting, slips you a honed sickle, its edge sharper than any you've wielded, its balance perfect, like an extension of your soul. "This is your moment, brother," he says, his voice thick with pride, his hand clasping yours. Cassius, now a doctor after earning his own Rudis last year, offers a rare nod. "Don't die, Thracian." His smirk gone, his eyes holding a grudging respect. Zaid, silent but steady, hands you a vial of myrrh oil, a Syrian custom for luck. You dream of your village, Livia's laughter as she chased lambs, your father's spear catching the sun, your mother's tales of Orpheus, the wind over the Rhodopes, knowing this fight could end your exile or your life. You pray to Nemesis, your voice a whisper, "Guide my blade, goddess, for Arion, for Livia, for Thrace." The Colosseum is a living beast, 70,000 spectators roaring under crimson awnings operated by naval slaves, their pulleys creaking like the bones of the earth. The morning's Venatio leaves the sand strewn with lion pelts, boar carcasses, and the bones of damnati torn apart for sport. Their screams a grim prelude. The air is thick with blood, dust, and the tang of wine from vendors, saffron sprayed to mask the stench, per Pliny the Elder's accounts. The hypogeum hums, slaves raising wooden hills or mock ships via trapdoors for dramatic effect, their chains clanking like your own past. Your Thraex gear is a second skin. The griffin helmet, a crown, its 15 pounds familiar. The sicker a fang, its curve honed to perfection. The parmula, a shield against fate, its oak scarred but unyielding. Trumpets blast, and you stride through the Porta Sana Vivaria, the crowd chanting, Thracian lion, Thracian lion, their voices shaking the stone, a sound that drowns out your fear. Tiberius enters, his scutum shield gleaming, his gladius a silver arc, his eyes cold behind his visor, his helmet's plume a blood-red taunt. The fight is a war, a dance of death under Rome's unforgiving sun, the sand burning your feet through your sandals. Tiberius charges, his gladius smashing your palmula, cracking your wrist, the pain searing like fire, shooting up your arm. You dance aside, your shepherd's agility saving you, and slash his thigh with your seeker. Blood spraying the sand, staining it crimson, the crowd screaming, "Finish him!" Their fists pounding like war drums. He swings again, his gladius grazing your ribs, the cut burning, blood soaking your subligaculum, the pain a white-hot lance. You hook his scutum with your seeker, yanking it down with a grunt, exposing his shoulder. Your blade bites deep, tearing muscle, blood gushing, and he falls, his shield clattering, raising a finger for Missio. The crowd's chant splits, half cry, Eugula, half Lucius, their voices a storm that shakes your soul. You drop your seeker, refusing to kill, honoring Drusus's mercy, your father's code. A warrior spares the fallen. Silence grips the arena, the organs wail fading, the air heavy with anticipation, dust swirling like spirits. Domitian rises, his purple robe catching the sun, his face unreadable behind his curled beard, his eyes weighing your fate. Your heart thunders, death or freedom. He raises a cloth granting Missio. The crowd explodes, showering you with palm branches, coins, flowers, even a child's clay figurine of a Thraex, its crude griffin crest a mirror of yours. Slaves rake the sand as you stand, bloodied but unbowed, your wrist throbbing, your ribs stinging, blood dripping onto the arena floor. Domitian summons you to the podium, his voice booming over the din. Lucius of Thrace, you've conquered Rome's heart. He hands you the rudies, its polished olive wood heavy with meaning, its grain smooth under your scarred fingers, a symbol of freedom earned through blood. A leather purse clinks with 7,000 sesterces, enough to change your life, to buy a future. Tears blur your vision as you raise the rudies, the crowd's roar shaking the earth, a sound you'll hear in dreams forever, louder than Thracian thunder. You're free. Lentulus, eyes gleaming with profit, releases your brand, his grip lingering as if reluctant to lose his star, his voice grudging. You cost me a fortune, but you earned it. Drusus embraces you, tears in his one eye, whispering, "You did it, brother." His arm strong despite his scars. Cassius clasps your arm, his smirk gone. You're the lion, Lucius. His respect a hard-won prize. Zaid, silent, presses his griffin talisman into your hand, a farewell gift. Claudia, in the podium, offers you a place in her household, her eyes hungry, her smile promising wealth and danger, but you refuse. Your heart set on Thrace, on Livia, on home. Freedom is yours, but it's incomplete without Livia, the sister whose laughter haunts your dreams. With your 7,000 sesterces, you buy passage on a merchant ship to the Black Sea. The journey rough, the waves churning like the arena's chaos, the sailors whispering of your fame. The Thracian lion sails home. In Thomis, you purchase a sturdy horse, its hooves kicking up dust as you ride 300 miles into the Rhodope Mountains. Bandit-haunted roads no match for your seeker, kept as a relic, its blade still sharp. You fend off 3 robbers, their knives no match for your arena-honed reflexes, their blood a grim echo of your past, their bodies left for wolves. Your village is a ruin, charred huts, overgrown fields, bones scattered by scavengers, the air heavy with loss. An elder, half blind, his face lined like old leather, recognizes you, weeping. Aryan son, you live. Livia, you learn, was sold to an Athenian merchant, possibly a weaver now. Your mother's fate is a shadow, likely dead in a Roman quarry. The elder's words are a faint hope, a spark that drives you forward. You sell your horse and buy passage to Athens, the city's marble gleaming under an Attic sun. Your scars and sicker draw stares, but you ignore them, hiring a tracker named Theron, a grizzled Greek who knows the slave markets. He leads you through Athens's agora, its stalls reeking of fish and spices, to a merchant named Demetrius, who recalls selling a Thracian girl to a weaver in Corinth 2 years ago. You travel to Corinth, the journey 50 miles by foot, your sandals worn thin, your heart heavy with hope and fear. In Corinth's weaving district, you find a workshop, its looms clacking like arena drums. A woman, her dark braid streaked with grey, looks up. Her eyes, blue like yours, widen. It's Livia, older, thinner, but alive. She drops her shuttle, weeping, and you embrace, your scars pressed against her calloused hands. "I thought you dead," she whispers, her voice the same stream-like song. She's a freed woman now, her master kind, but she longs for Thrace. You pay her passage with your sesterces, promising a new life. Back in the Rhodopes, you buy a 10-acre plot, build a stone house with a tiled roof, its hearth a flicker of your old life. You plant barley, the same crop you ate in the Ludus, its taste now a choice, not a chain. You tend sheep, their bleats echoing your youth, their wool soft under your scarred hands. Livia weaves beside you, her songs filling the air, healing the wound of years apart. You carve a stele for your father, for Arion, warrior of Thrace, whose son returned. Its stone quarried from the Rhodopes, its words etched with your seeker's tip. You train village boys in the spear, teaching them to aim for the heart, their eyes wide as you recount dodging Aretiarius's net, parrying a Murmillo's gladius, killing a lion with a single thrust. But the arena's echo lingers, the sands grit, the crowds roar, the weight of your sicker, the stench of blood, the faces of men you spared or killed. You're no longer Lucius the slave, but Lucius the Thracian lion, your name etched in Pompey's graffiti. Lucius, freed by valor, 20 victories. Your freedom and Livia's return are only the beginning of your story's ripple, a wave that crashes across Rome, Thrace, and the centuries beyond. In the eternal city, you're a legend, your name a whisper in taverns, a scrawl on walls, a tale told to wide-eyed children by firelight. Merchants in Capua sell clay lamps with your likeness, a Thraex raising a sicker, griffin helmet gleaming, its light flickering in Pompeian homes per archaeological finds. A poet echoing martial spectacles, writes of your duel with Tiberius, Lucius, Thracian lion, who spared the fallen and won the stars. His verses carved on a tablet in Rome's forum, read by senators and slaves alike. Your mercy in the Colosseum, sparing Tiberius, becomes a lesson in ludi across Italy. Doctores telling recruits, fight like Lucius, kill when you must, spare when you can. A rare honor in a world of blood. Claudia commissions a mosaic in her villa, depicting you pinning Cassius, its tiles vivid with crimson blood, golden sand, and the glint of your sicker, a masterpiece that draws gasps from her guests. Your story spreads to provinces, Gaul, Hispania, Britannia, even distant Egypt, where amphitheatres echo with tales of the Thracian who defied Rome's chains, per inscriptions found in Lisbon, Carthage, and Alexandria. A child in Verona, clutching a clay figurine of a Thraex, dreams of your battles, unaware his toy mirrors your helmet, found centuries later in Pompeii's ruins. In Thrace, you're a symbol of resilience, a beacon for a people crushed by Rome's heel. The village, rebuilt with your coin, names a spring Lucius's well, its waters said to carry your strength, a pilgrimage site for shepherds who offer barley to your father's stele. Livia weaves tapestries of Thracian heroes, her work sold in markets, her songs teaching children their heritage. Boys you train wield spears with pride, calling you teacher lion, their laughter easing the ache of your mother's loss. Her fate, a shadow you'll never unravel. You visit your father's stele weekly, offering wine, barley, and prayers, whispering apologies for surviving when he didn't. The Nemesis amulet, now hung above your door, is a talisman of your past. Its bronze dull but heavy with meaning, a reminder of the goddess who guided your blade through 20 fights. Reflection brings clarity and pain, a reckoning with the man you've become, the price of your freedom, the weight of your legacy. The arena gave you a name but stole pieces of your soul, your youth, your mother, years with Livia. You dream of the Colosseum's roar, waking with sweat-soaked furs, your hand reaching for a seeker that's no longer there, the sand's grit still vivid in your mind, the scars on your body, trident marks, claw gashes, sword cuts, a lion's rake, are mirrored by memories. Drusus's lost eye as he screamed in Verona, Cassius's humbled nod after you spared him, Sextus's plea for Missio in Pompeii, the bestiarius whose bear nearly killed you, the faces of men you killed, their eyes fading as blood pooled. You ponder the paradox of your life, a slave who became a hero, a warrior who killed to live, a man who spared his foe to honor his father's code. Stoic philosophers like Seneca, who praised gladiators' defiance in moral letters, would see you as a living lesson. What is death to Lucius but a moment's pain, endured for eternity's gain? Yet you question the cost. Was freedom worth the blood on your hands, the nightmares that stalk your sleep, the mother you'll never find? You sit by your hearth, the fire crackling, Livia weaving beside you, the rudies on the shelf, its olive wood smooth from your touch. You whisper to Nemesis, was it worth it? The answer lies in the wind over the rhodopes, Livia's songs, the laughter of village children, the stele bearing your father's name. Your legacy endures beyond your years, a flame that burns through time. Centuries later, archaeologists uncover Pompeii's graffiti. Lucius, Thracian lion, 20 victories, scrawled beside a sketch of a Thraex with a griffin crest. Per finds in the house of the gladiators. A Colosseum bone, bearing a seeker's nick, might be from your fights, per Ephesus studies showing trident punctures, blade marks, and lion bites. Your rudies, preserved by your descendants, becomes a relic in a Thracian shrine, proof that freedom can be won through blood, displayed beside a bronze seeker etched with your name. Livia's tapestries, passed down, inspire Thracian rebels centuries later, their spears echoing your lessons. A child in your village, years later, finds a clay lamp with your image, its flame flickering as he dreams of becoming a warrior. Unaware his toy echoes a helmet found in Pompeii's ruins. Rome forgets most gladiators, their names dust in the arena. But your story, etched in stone, sung in taverns, carried in the hearts of Thracian boys, lives on, a testament to a man who turned chains into glory, who danced with death and walked away, who rebuilt a village from ashes and gave a people hope. Your journey, Lucius, is an eternal testament to the gladiator's paradox, a slave who became a legend, a warrior who turned blood into freedom, a man who left a mark on Rome and Thrace alike, a legacy that echoes through centuries. Archaeological finds, Ephesus skeletons with trident punctures, Pompeii's graffiti, Colosseum bones with blade marks, a Verona tombstone naming a Tris Athraeus, mirror your scars and triumphs. Martial might have immortalized you alongside Priscus and Verus, whose draw won freedom in 80 CE per spectacles. Your rudies rarer than gold places you among the elite, like Flamma, who refused it 4 times, or Crixus, who died for it in Spartacus's revolt. Your choice to return to Thrace to find Livia, to rebuild rather than revel in Rome's decadence, set you apart, a Thracian lion who roared and then went home, planting seeds for a people to rise again, their spears gleaming under the Rhodope sun. And so, listeners, we leave Lucius, the Thracian lion, standing tall in the Rhodope mountains, his rudis in hand, his sister Livia weaving by the hearth, their village reborn from the ashes of Rome's conquest. His journey, from the chains of the Ludus to the roar of the Colosseum, from the blood-soaked sand to the windswept hills of Thrace, is a testament to the unyielding spirit of a man who defied an empire and reclaimed his soul. His scars, his victories, his mercy, and his legacy echo through time, carved in Pompeii's graffiti, sung in Thracian songs, and preserved in the relics of a warrior who danced with death and walked away. This has been a gladiator's eternal saga, your life in the arena, a tale of blood, honor, and redemption, brought to you by Somnus Sagas, where we breathe life into history's most epic stories. If Lucius's saga stirred your heart, don't forget to subscribe to Somnus Sagas for more immersive journeys into the past. Until next time, may your own battles forge a legacy as enduring as the Thracian lions. Farewell.